So I just started the recording. So hi and welcome everyone. This is the internship orientation session. This will be a really brief session, just kind of giving you some tips on how to be successful on your internship. If this is your first internship, this will be very useful to you. If this is not your first internship, this session might still be useful to you, but then also you might be able to offer some tips to your colleagues that are in the class that are starting an internship. So my name is Carissa Forde, and I work at the Joyce K. Salzberg Center. I think by now everybody should know what the Joyce K. Salzberg Center is, but essentially we are a career and professional development center that focus on liberal arts students. We work primarily with liberal arts students in empowering them with knowledge about their degree and empowering them to have confidence in everything that they're learning and confidence in what they have to offer and what they can bring out and put out into the world. We really encourage you to explore all your options that you possibly can, because with a liberal arts degree, there's like so many options that you can explore, and it's not like a one size fits all. So we really implore you to really kind of like navigate and try different things to really see where you want to be and where your passion lies. So within the Joyce K. Salzberg Center, we do a lot of one-on-one coaching with students, where we help you with resumes, cover letters, CVs. We help with job and internship searches. Any students that are going to an interview, whether it's for a job or internship, we help with prep for that. Exploring career paths, like I was mentioning, there's so many different things that you can do with a liberal arts degree. So exploring your career paths. Graduate school might be a potential option for many students. So kind of helping you figure out what you need to do in order to attend graduate school. We help with networking, LinkedIn. And on top of that, there's also lots of events, and most of the events that happen in CLA come through our office. So like the Beyond the Classroom Fest that we had last semester, this semester we're doing a lot of tailored and targeted major specific internship job fairs. So keep out for those. Usually I send out notifications in our class, but these are all opportunities that come out of our office and are available to you as a CLA student. All right, so we're gonna get started really quickly. We're a small group, so I would like everybody to turn your camera on when you are doing your introduction. So we're gonna do a quick introduction. So you'll say what your name is, what your major or program is in CLA, where you are interning, and what you will be doing as an intern. So Asif, yes, this is for CLA students.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so I'll start with Rosalie because you're the first person I can see on my screen.
Okay, cool. My name's Rosalie Banks. I am a criminal justice major within CLA, and then I also have a public health minor. I am currently an intern at USLI, or United States Liability Insurance Company. And as an intern, I am part of their college help program on the surplus lines tax filing team. It's a long name for my team, but basically it just means that I file taxes for a very specific type of insurance.
Okay, that sounds pretty cool. Is this your first internship?
Yes and no. It's my first internship, but I've been with the company now for a year and 8 months. So that's quite a few semesters I've got under my belt by now.
Okay, that's really good. Okay, thanks, Rosalie. Sarah?
Hi, I'm Sarah Ring. I'm a poli-sci and history major. I'm interning at the Valari law firm, and I'm going to be doing a lot of intake, drafting letters, and kind of learning about what she does.
Okay. Yeah, and she's really good. I work with her. I work with her a lot. She's really nice, and she always loves Temple students. Is this your first internship, Sarah?
It's not. I just came off an internship with the U.S. District Court of Maryland. So.
Okay, perfect. Wang B. You're still muted, Wang, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah. My name is Bingting Wang. You can just call me Bing or Wang. Yeah, it's fine. I'm study PhD student in Temple University, School of Pharmacy. Now my major is pharmaceutics. I have never done internship before, so I want to see.
Oh, but you're in the School of Pharmacy, you said?
Yes, School of Pharmacy.
Oh, okay. Well, we're appreciative that you're here. This is for CLA students, but there'll be a lot of, no, you can stay. There'll be a lot of tips in here that can probably be beneficial to you. So,
Okay, thank you.
yeah, well, welcome. All right, sorry, we just have another student coming on right now. I'll give her a chance to, Hi, Leah. We're doing introductions and you're the last person to come on. Do you want to come on and tell us your name, your major, where you're interning and what you'll be doing?
Hi, I'm so sorry. I just came from another call. Yes, my name is Leah. I am an English major with a focus in creative writing. And I'm interning at SAP, which is a software company, as a communications intern. And that entails a lot of newsletter creation, event planning, internal stuff, so a lot of confidential information, and just a lot of different things like video editing and fun things like that. So various parts of it that I like.
Is this your first internship or have you had internships before?
This is my internship continued from last semester. So yeah, but it's like my first major internship.
Okay. Well, a lot of the tips, hopefully you probably already know, but anybody who's had an internship before, feel free to unmute and kind of like share your tips for our friend Wang, who is here and it's his first internship and he wants to learn a little bit more about how to be prepared for his internship. But definitely, if you have any tips you want to share out with Wang, because I know he'll definitely appreciate it and I also appreciate it too. Some of the things I might say you already know. Sorry if it is repetitive for you. But thank you all for being here. We're a small group, so we're not gonna be long. We'll be very quickly.
Thank
Right. So today we're essentially going to discuss how to effectively prepare for an internship. And you don't have to have cameras on, it's solely up to you. We're going to talk a little bit about professionalism in the workplace, learn how to maximize your internship experience. And then the last thing we'll do is just talk about the CLA 2685 course requirements, because most people in here are in my course. And you can ask any questions that you have, because this will be the first and only time we meet this semester. Our class is asynchronous. So if you have any questions, you can ask, but I'm also always available by email. All right, so forgive me because I am accepting students in the room also while I'm going here. All right, so in terms of preparing for your internship, the one thing that you want to ensure that you do, if your internship is in person or whether it is virtual and online, you want to make sure that you get plenty of sleep. Like, I cannot emphasize as much how sleep is needed. You cannot function throughout the day if you don't have a proper rest at night. If you are restless, you wake up, you kind of tired throughout the day. I've experienced this often because I'm a person that goes to bed pretty late, but you want to make sure that you're showing up as your best self, basically. So you want to make sure that you get a good night's rest, and also eat like a hearty breakfast to kind of help you be energetic and prepare for the day. If your internship is in person, you want to make sure that you are prioritizing and planning ahead to arrive at your internship site early. If you are taking public transportation, you want to ensure that you're leaving a little bit early to kind of prepare for delays, or, public transportation is not always as reliable as we would like it to be. So just ensuring that you leave enough time to get to your internship site on time and you aren't arriving late. If there is an instance where you are going to be arriving late, you want to ensure that you reach out to your supervisor, whether you all have communicated that as through a text message or an email. Send an email to let them know, hey, there was an issue and I will be running a little bit late. I should be there within the next 15, 20 minutes, whatever the case might be. You want to make sure that you are communicating this with your supervisor. The other thing I will say is you definitely want to manage your expectations when you are going to an internship. An internship might not necessarily be everything that you expect it to be. However, there's still lots of great opportunities for you to learn while you are on this internship. So one thing that you could potentially learn from your internship is, this is definitely not something I see myself doing in the future, right? So just kind of like managing what you expect. Like, Leah, as you mentioned, your internship, you're doing a lot of like communication and if your internship does not include some of the things that you thought it would, just kind of like know that that's not the end all be all. This is like a good example for you to say like, okay, while this internship sounded pretty good, it wasn't exactly what I wanted to do. And this is not really something that I see myself wanting to do in the future, right? So just kind of manage what you expect to do at your internship. Expect to have some menial tasks that you'll have to do, like copy and printing and some stuff that you might think that are silly. What I will say is, just do it. And this will be a lesson for you in the future, because you'll essentially be like, okay, well, I did not enjoy this field and I thought this was something that I wanted to go into. Now that I've had some experience within this field, this is showing me that this is not what I want to do. And now I've checked this off my list, and let's continue going down the list of things that I think that I want to do. The other thing I will say is, while you are at your internship, from very early on, you want to start preparing to network. This internship is a possibility to a job. You want to be networking with people, talking about yourself, talking about what you want to do. If you are about to graduate, hi, I'm about to graduate. I mean, I really love this firm. Is there any opportunities that are coming available soon? You want to be planting that seed from very early on. So definitely just put yourself out there and start to network with people from very, very early on. Don't wait until last minute and until the end, then to be like, oh, I would love to work here. I really enjoy this internship. Plant that seed very early on. Talk to your supervisor. Hey, I am a senior. I'm graduating in May. If this internship works out, I would love to have a position at the office. If anything is becoming available, please let me know. Please, I would love to be considered for it. So definitely plan to network. And even if there's nothing within your office, there's so many other offices and partners that your organization will work with. So try to network with some of those people as well, so that if there is, and you can also say to your boss, if there's no opportunities here, do you know any other organizations that are hiring that you can connect me to? So start very early on, kind of plant the seed of what your expectations are. I expect to learn a lot on this internship, but I also am trying to see if this is an organization that I could potentially get a full-time opportunity with. So plant that seed very early and network with as many people as you possibly can. In terms of networking, when you are networking with people, you want to ensure that you go out of your way to introduce yourself. Even if you have introduced yourself to this person one time, hi, my name is Carissa Forde. I'm an intern from Temple University. I'm currently studying criminal justice. I'm in my very last semester. I'm doing this internship to really get a feel for this organization and potentially lead to a full-time opportunity. Then you want to ensure that you are, paying attention while you are at work, learning people's names, understanding what people's roles are, and knowing who exactly you want to network with. There might be an office within your organization that you have an interest in. You want to try to put yourself out there and network with people within that space, so you kind of get to know them and they get to know you. And mention to them, like I said, if there's any opportunities that become available, I would love to be considered for these opportunities. Definitely put yourself out there. Don't stay siloed within just your organization. You're here within just your small space. You're here to like network and meet people. The one thing I will say with virtual internships, there's not any opportunities for you to really like network and meet people and build relationships. So if you are in person, like, these are very, very valuable experiences to be in person, to have an in-person internship, to be able to have colleagues that you can talk to, whether it's other interns from Temple or other schools. Everybody is a network. So make sure that you network with people, add them on LinkedIn, try to build relationships with them, and also foster these relationships beyond like this internship opportunity. Another thing that you want to do, like I was mentioning, if there's an office or a part of the organization that you have an interest in. So let's say you work in communication and you're interested in marketing. If there's somebody in marketing that seek out an informational interview from them. Reach out to them like, hey, I have an interest in marketing, but I don't really exactly know what it is. I would love to interview you very quickly for a short interview to learn a little bit more about what you do, and potential opportunities within the marketing department. So definitely try to seek out any informational interviews and anything that you might be interested that's beyond like your role as an intern, to kind of like build those relationships and plant that seed there. And then just overall, just know that you'll be working with a lot of different people within the organization. So just kind of learn how to navigate and different people's personalities and stuff like that, because you are a student. So just know that you, as a student, employee, intern, you have the rights as an employee as well. So just knowing that if there's things that you're seeing that you feel like you're being taken advantage of, or whatever the case might be, you have the right to speak out to your supervisor. If you don't feel comfortable with your supervisor, you can come to me and I can definitely navigate that process for you so that you don't have to do it yourself. Just know that there'll be people there that you might not necessarily mesh with, right? You know, oftentimes we don't mesh with everybody. Everybody's personality is not the same, and kind of that thing. So just ensure that, you know, you aren't being rude and you are being professional in the workplace. Even if you cannot mesh with somebody, if you have work to do with them, you want to just kind of get that done and get it out the way, and don't focus too much on the fact that you and this person aren't clicking. If you're finding it difficult working with people with different personalities, definitely something for you to bring up to your supervisor. Again, if you don't feel comfortable bringing up things to your supervisor, because you know your supervisor has to grade you at the end, this is something that you can come and discuss with me, and I can find ways for us to kind of address it with your supervisor. So definitely know that you will not mesh with every single person in the organization. So just kind of prepare yourself for that. And just be prepared to complete your work and not worry too much about, okay, this person doesn't want to be my friend at work. That's okay. You know what I mean? Do what you have to do, get it done, leave a good impression, and you'll be fine. As I was mentioning, managing your expectations. So like I said, you might have to do some menial tasks while you are on your job. Do it with a smile. You know what I mean? Yeah. Hey, Carissa, can you go and make copies of these? I mean, the copies right there is like really easy to do. You could do it yourself, but you don't have to say that. You'd be like, okay, sure. Like I'll make copies of these. Or one thing that when I got my first job out of college, my boss used to always ask me to do stuff like make copies, right? So I'd be like, he's like, oh, I don't know how to use that machine. I was like, well, I can show you how to use the machine, so you don't always have to wait for me to do it, right? So there's like good ways to bring these issues up to people. So I was like, you know, it's really not that hard. I can take a minute to show you how to use the machine, because, you know, when I'm not there, I don't want you to have to wait for me if you really need something urgently, right? So there's ways to like work around people's personalities. I know my boss didn't want to do it because he was just like, I'm here, why would I do it? But I often would be like, hey, I can show you how to use the copy machine. It's really not that difficult. This way you literally don't have to wait for me. If I'm not at my desk and you need something urgently, you just know how to go do it yourself, right? So just kind of do things with a smile. There are people that will try to take advantage of you because they're like, you're an intern, this is what you're supposed to do. You know, once it's not anything in violation of you as a person, you know, do it with a smile, take it with stride, but don't talk back to people. But if there's like smart ways to be like, hey, like, I can actually show you how to do this, you know what I mean? But not obviously not saying it like in a rude way, but like very smartly, like, hey, like, you know, I'll have other tasks to do and I don't want you to have to wait for me. So I can surely show you how to utilize this or how to use this. And the one thing I will say is, even if there are some menial tasks, this should not be the bulk of your internship, right? So your entire internship should not be consumed with making copies, running errands for people. You know what I mean? You should actually be learning something on your internship, right? You should actually be gaining some skills that your internship job description said you would. And one thing I will say is, if you're going through your internship and you realize that you have not done anything that your internship said you were supposed to do, this is something to address with your supervisor right away. Hey, Carissa, I know from the job description and when I got hired for this position, I thought that I was going to be able to like create my own like social media posts and like really add my spin onto to help the organization grow their influence online. You know, I haven't had any opportunities to do that yet. Can you tell me a little bit about when you think I'll be able to start doing this as a role, right? It's a very easy conversation to have with your supervisor, like, hey, you know, some of the things that I was expecting to learn, I don't feel like I'm learning these. Is there a timeline of when we'll start incorporating this into my task? Whatever the case might be. Very easy conversation to have, but don't continue to do work that you're like, okay, well, and then at the end of your internship, you're like, I've literally learned nothing that they said I would learn on this internship. So definitely speak up for yourself and kind of like ask questions and stuff like that. Next, communicating with your supervisor. I know sometimes as students, we are very much like nervous to communicate with our supervisor. Anybody that, you know, has to grade us, you feel like you don't want to say the wrong thing because your grade will be affected. Just understand that it's not all about grades. It's also about speaking up about yourself when you feel like your supervisor is not giving you what you need to get. You're not learning what you would like to learn on this internship. So make sure that you meet with your supervisor very early on and understand what your duties are. These are your duties, and we talked about these as my duties. When there's things that are showing up that aren't part of your duties, or you find yourself working more than the hours that you're supposed to work, this is a conversation to have. Don't just say, oh, well, you know, I am an intern, I'll do this. No, if this is beyond, like you're supposed to leave at 5 and you're leaving the office at 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, that's not acceptable, right? And you're the last person to leave there, that is definitely not acceptable. So these are things that you want to bring up with your supervisor very early on. Definitely discuss with me. I am a big advocate for students. I will reach out to supervisors and talk to them to kind of help my students. So if this is a if you're like a conflict avoidant person and you don't want to have this conversation with your supervisor for fear of them like grading you lower or whatever the case might be, this is something that you definitely bring up to me, and I've gotten ways to navigate that with them so that it does not affect you. So you definitely want to bring up issues that you're facing in the organization, you know, kind of check in with your supervisor often. Feedback, hey, I completed this spreadsheet and I did this VLOOKUP, whatever the case might be for you. Did I do it correctly? Is there any feedback you have to give me on how I could improve, or whatever the case might be? You know, around the midterm, you want to schedule a meeting with your supervisor. Hey, I've been here about 7 weeks now. I just want to check in about my progress. Is there anything that I need to work on within the next 7 weeks that I'll be here? Is there any feedback? Is there anything that I've done great that you really appreciated? Like, do you have any feedback for me? And then also at the end, you want to ensure that you meet with them to discuss your evaluation that they'll do of you. So, hey, can we talk about the evaluation? You know, in terms of my progress, like at midpoint, we talked about these things and I've worked on improving them. Like, do you have an update on how I've done on these tasks that I needed to improve? Don't be afraid to get feedback. Even feedback sometimes when it's negative is a good opportunity for you to learn and grow and do better. So never take it as negative feedback unless somebody says it very negatively and you feel offended by it. But always use that as an opportunity for you to grow and do better, right? You're here to learn and you're here to get feedback on how you're learning. Don't expect to know everything. And I don't expect you to know everything. Your supervisor does not expect you to know everything, right? If you don't know something, you can say, hey, like, I don't really understand how to do that. I tried to Google it and I wasn't really clear. Like, is there a way that you can show me, right? Make sure that you are communicating with your supervisor. Like I said early on, if you're running late, if you need to change, so you're working Monday, Wednesday, but something came up and now you need to work Tuesday, Thursday, make sure that you are communicating this with your supervisor. And it is okay to have a change in schedule. You are a student, there's things that come up, so you're okay. Just make sure that you are communicating effectively and discussing these issues with your supervisor. And that, like I said early on, don't be afraid to say, hey, like, I am really loving this organization. I'm graduating in May. Is there any opportunities that you think are coming available? Because I would love to be considered for them. So don't be afraid to speak about yourself and what you would like to do and your interests and so on. In terms of being professional in the workplace, when I'm talking about professionalism, I'm talking about confidentiality. So if there's any confidential information that you're entrusted with, make sure that it stays at the organization. Do not come home and discuss it with your roommate. Do not discuss it with your friends. It's work related and it's confidential within work, such as like people's information. You're working with a case. Oh my God, this person got arrested and blah, blah, blah. Like, you don't want to be sharing gossip at home, and you don't want to be taking confidential stuff that you should be only using at work home and talking about it for somebody else to repeat it and for you to get in trouble, okay? So don't, any confidential information, kind of leave that where it is. In terms of like, if you hear coworkers talking about, oh, I hate the boss, like the boss is blah, 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 Don't engage in any of those conversations. Don't add your opinion. Don't talk about how much you hate the boss. All that stuff, keep it to yourself. Don't engage in any conversation with other employees about this. If you hear other employees talking about other employees, don't engage yourself in anything of this. Don't share any information that you hear. If there's something that you feel like you need to bring up to the supervisor that you overheard, then sure. But otherwise, just kind of keep yourself out of any office gossip or any like drama at work, because you are there, you're a student, you're there to learn. You don't want to be engaged or involved in any types of drama at work. And there will be some types of work drama. So just be mindful of that and kind of keep yourself away from it. Legal confidentiality. So if you have access to customers or people's like personal company information, such as like employee salaries, client list, customer, like any passwords, financial information, you really don't want to be sharing that with coworkers or even just your friends, your roommates, whatever the case might be. Anything that is legal or confidential or you could get in trouble for, leave that at work and don't let that be something that you bring home with you. Especially if there's like private information, if you have a work laptop or work phone, use that only for work stuff and not for your own personal things. So ensure that you keep your work separate from your personal life and don't share any of your employer stuff with other people, because this can always lead back to you and you don't want to get yourself in trouble. You don't want to have anybody sue you for, for sharing information that was not meant to be shared. In terms of like continuing on professionalism in the workplace, talking about office etiquette. So make sure that you are always professional. You want to ensure that you are seen, you kind of show up the way you want to be perceived. Be professional. If you are doing communication on behalf of your organization, you want to ensure that you are greeting people, you are responding to their messages, you're responding promptly, you aren't waiting. Even if it's communication between your supervisor and yourself, you want to make sure that you're not waiting 5 days to respond to your supervisor. Your supervisor reached out and asked you for something, respond in a timely manner, whatever you perceive as a timely manner. 11 p.m. at night is not a timely manner. 8 p.m. next day, first thing next day, maybe, the next day you're at work, just kind of work that out with your supervisor, because you don't want to be at work you don't want to be working at 11 p.m. on a Sunday. That's not your work hours. That's hours you should be resting to kind of prepare yourself for the week, right? So just kind of estimate what you think is a good timely response in order to like respond to people, whether it's responding to company emails or your supervisor or anything of the sort. If you are given a company email or phone, like I said, don't use it for your own personal use. Don't use it to sign up for Amazon or whatever the case might be. Use this only for work because it's only supposed to be for work. And while you are communicating on behalf of your organization, you want to make sure that any emails, any information that you're putting out is proofread and is error-free. You want to make sure that you are giving a good impression of yourself, but also you are representing the organization. So ensure that you don't have any errors in your emails. You're being very professional. Dear Miss Forde, dear whatever the case might be. Not hey, and signing off your thing is like hey and okay, all right, bye, or whatever the case might be. That stuff is for outside of work, and you can use that in your everyday life, but just want to make sure that you are being very professional when you are at work. All right, so let's talk a little bit about how to maximize your internship experience. I know I'm going through this like very quickly, but if you have questions, like stop me. So make sure that you are asking questions that allow you to learn. Like I said early on, you're working on your internship 7 weeks, you have done nothing that your job description says. Bring this up to your supervisor. Don't wait until last minute and be like, hey, like I didn't learn how to use social media or how to use SAS or R or whatever the case might be. Bring this up early on, like, hey, I thought part of this role allowed me to work with databases and organize databases and stuff. I haven't had an opportunity to do that yet. Is there a time that this will start being incorporated in my role? If you have opinions, skills, or anything that you want to share that you think can maximize or improve efficiency in any way possible, share your ideas within reason. Not within reason that you share your ideas and then it's taken from you and you get no credit for it, but feel free to speak up and share ideas like, hey, I saw that your Instagram, you only ever post once a month. I think to really maximize engagement online, we should be posting stories or we should be posting reels, blah, blah, blah. I think, this will gain a lot more people interacting with our content. So share your ideas within reason, right? And any things that you think that will help to, improve the organization, you want to definitely be speaking up and giving those ideas. Like I said early, discuss your responsibilities with your supervisor so you know exactly what you are supposed to be doing. You don't want to have any gray area in terms of what you're doing, and you're taking orders from me, you're taking orders from Tom and Jerry and everybody. Hey, I'm reporting to you. If somebody asks me what to do, what should I do? If I'm working on a task for you and somebody asks me to do something, what takes priority? Am I allowed to stop what I'm doing for you and work on somebody else's stuff? Okay, who should I be taking jobs or responsibilities from? If you aren't here, who should I be reporting to? So you want to make sure that you're clear on who you're reporting to, what your tasks are, who is allowed to give you tasks, which tasks you're supposed to prioritize, and so on and so forth. And lastly, you want to ask for feedback as often as you possibly can. Hey, that social media post, what did you think about it? Is there anything that you think I should improve? Was it to your expectations? That spreadsheet I worked on, was it to your expectations? Is there anything, do you have any feedback to offer me on what I can improve? So on and so forth. Like I said, don't take feedback as a negative thing. Always take it as something that you can use to improve on. All right. Also, in maximizing your internship experience, you want to be constantly asking, is there anything I can help you with? I have completed the task that you've given me. Is there anything I can help you with? Hey, is there anything else I can help with? But like I said, within reason, not as more as taking advantage of you, but within reason to, hey, I've completed all my tasks. Is there anything else that I can help you with? So you want to be asking this question often, but like I said, within reason and not as being taken advantage of, more of like, hey, like I would like to learn some additional skills. I've completed everything that I've done, I needed to do for the day. What else can I help you with? All right, in terms of dress code, you want to ask your supervisor what the office dress code is. And I think after a few days being on your internship site, you kind of pay attention to what people are wearing and you kind of, get ready to suit. So you can ask, hey, like, do I have to wear a suit to work every day? Am I allowed to dress down? Is Friday a dress down day where I can wear jeans? Can I wear jeans to work? Can I wear sneakers? Like what kind of shoes? And you want to clarify this with your supervisor, but then also if you just like look around and see what the office culture looks like, you can kind of pick up on that from there, right? I would say when in doubt, you're not really sure, dress up. Nothing can happen if you dress up. You look nice, you look great, people compliment you, and so on and so forth. Just remember that the way you present yourself is how people will perceive you, right? So always present yourself as your best self so people perceive you as your best self, right? All right, we're coming down to the window with this now. Then lastly, when you're coming towards the end of your internship, you really want to sit down and kind of like reflect on the experience that you've had. So how did you feel working in this environment? Was this a place that you fit in? Did you stand out? Did you feel comfortable within the team? Did you feel comfortable working on a team? Did you do work solo? Was your supervisor a good supervisor? Was there any concerns? Did your supervisor offer you good feedback? Did you feel that you did a good job? You know what I mean? So you really want to sit down and kind of reflect on how this experience was for you. Did you have any concerns while you were working? Is this something that you see yourself doing? You know what I mean? For the future. If you're working 8 hours, do you see yourself sitting behind a desk working 8 hours? If you were out in the field, do you see yourself feeling comfortable being out in the field? Was this work enjoyable to you? Did you see it as like, ugh, another job I have to go to? Was it enjoyable? Did it allow you to have creativity and freedom and autonomy to kind of work on your own? Were you micromanaged by your supervisor? Did they stand over your shoulder to make sure that you did the project correctly? So really reflect on what this experience felt for you, what you got from this experience, and what this can do for you moving forward. Is this something that I see myself doing? Do I see myself with this organization or not, right? So just kind of take a little bit of time. We will have a reflection paper due at the end of the semester, but you want to reflect for your own, like, okay, I really thought that communication was like something that I wanted to do, but this is a lot of writing and I really don't like writing that much. it's a lot of writing, editing, like, that would be a lot. I don't really think I see myself doing this like long term, maybe like a year or two after college, and to just kind of get some experience and then move on. So really take time to like reflect and see how this experience like affected you. Did it provide clarity for you for a field that you're interested in? Or did it also make you feel more concerned about like, I don't think this is what I want to do. Maybe I need to try something else. So definitely spend a little bit of time just reflecting on the experience and what it could do for you. Then the next thing you want to do is update your materials. So update your resume, LinkedIn profile, anybody you network with, connect with them on LinkedIn so you can stay in contact. Your supervisor, I said, asking for feedback, him or her for feedback on your performance. Like I said, any potential job opportunities. You're graduating in May. You're finishing your internship first week in May. Is there any job opportunities that are available? Can I be considered for any of these job opportunities? Can I apply? Can I reach out to you in 6 months to see if anything is available? You want to be asking these questions. Next thing you want to do is at the end of the semester, we will do a thank you letter. So you definitely want to send a thank you, whether it's a card. If you're in person, you want to give a card. If you're virtual, you want to send an email to thank your supervisor for giving you that opportunity. Like I said in the beginning, even if this is an opportunity, even if this internship made you realize this is not what you want to go into, still thank them for the opportunity. I thank you for taking a chance on me, giving me an opportunity to come and work on your team, be a part of your team, learn from you, learn from other colleagues. I really appreciated this opportunity. This has provided some clarity for me in terms of where I want to go after I graduate, blah, blah, blah. Just kind of thank people for the time that they spent and, you know, just kind of taking that chance with you and giving you an opportunity to come and showcase like your talent and your skills. And if you are considering going to graduate school or applying to like other programs that you need letters of recommendation, this would be a good opportunity for you to ask like, hey, like, can I reach out to you in the future for a letter of recommendation? Would that be okay? What's the best email that I can contact you on in order to get that, right? All right, so just for students in my course, this semester, our class is asynchronous, not just this semester, it's always asynchronous. So asynchronous means we never meet for class. All your assignments, the class is completely online. You are responsible for completing all your assignments. I usually send reminders before the assignments are due. But if you look ahead and you look at the assignments, make sure that you reach out to me if you have any questions. I am always available by email. I can have office hours. If you need office hours, just reach out to me. If you're having issues on your internship, reach out to me. We can kind of talk about that, you know, create a process on how we can address that with your supervisor. So for the purpose of this course, we have a few assignments that are due. So the internship assessment paper, I don't have the dates on here, sorry, and I meant to put that on. The internship assessment paper is the first assignment that will be coming due. Then there'll be an informational interview following directly after that. There's a LinkedIn assignment where I ask you to update your LinkedIn with your current position and add a couple other positions. Make sure you have a professional photo and add me on LinkedIn so you can be graded. Like I mentioned, you'll have a chance to write a thank you letter in class. You want to share this thank you letter with your supervisor, any mentors, any people that you work with at your organization to kind of thank them for the opportunity. At the end, there'll be a reflection paper. The reflection paper is part of the evaluation that we'll do. So towards the end of the semester, I'll send you an evaluation through skills survey. You self-evaluate yourself, then your supervisor evaluate you, and then you can kind of compare your scores. So compare your scores and how you did in terms of professionalism, confidentiality, writing, reading, critical thinking, analytical thinking, so on and so forth. And then lastly, you are responsible for tracking your own hours this semester. The one thing that I will say, if around halfway point you have not made your hours or you feel like you're not going to be able to make your hours for the semester based on the credit load that you are taking on, reach out to me so we can find ways to kind of like combat that so you don't feel you don't have to take an incomplete at the end of the semester. So the biggest thing I want you to take away from here is, even though this class is asynchronous, I'm available by email all the time. You can set up an appointment with me. We can set up office hours, whatever you need to answer any questions. I will always respond to your email and kind of guide you and help you in any way that you possibly can. So anything that is not going up to par on your internship, reach out to me. Don't wait until last minute. If you're having issues and you can't complete your assignment by the due date, reach out to me, let me know. Like, I'm super flexible and I always want to help students. I don't want to cause more stress for you. So Don't wait until the end of the semester and then say, hey, I didn't complete any of my stuff. Reach out to me early and let me know what's going on, and we can work something out. If you wait till the end of the semester, there's not a lot of time for us to work anything out, right? So this class is not super difficult, so I don't want you to add any difficulties to yourself. So just reach out to me and communicate with me as often and as clearly as possible. So here's my email. You all should have my email, but here's my email. And in terms of, you know, if you have any questions in terms of internships, you're about to graduate, you need help updating your resume, anything like that, the Joyce K. Salzberg Center, we do that for students. So definitely reach out to me or any of my colleagues that you might know so that we can help you. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing and open it up for questions if anybody has questions.